Okay, hello, how you doing, guys? Yes, I'm back with another one, and this is a book review about, yes, Miss Diahann Carroll. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, this is a nice book. It's actually aging, acting, marrying, and other things I learned the hard way. Mm-hmm. This was a very good book. I'm telling you, it spoke about her as a child, the way her mom raised her, how her mother and father met, and all the movies and TV shows she did and things like that. Yes, it was a very good book, and I learned a lot about her. I always liked her from Dynasty. Yes, I used to watch her on Dynasty, guys, and as a child, and I was just so intrigued to see her on the screen because she looked fabulous, and I love fabulous things, and she was one of them. Yes, and she is one of them. Yes, and so I was just when I seen this book, I said, "Oh, I gotta get it so I could read her book, and just to seem like I can get to know her a little bit better through this book." And I did. She was all about glam and looking great when she leaving, and she always felt as though if you look great, you felt great, and when people see you looking good all the time, it also gave you opportunity. Yes, in life, so yeah, I mean, this was a great book. It spoke about everything that she had went through, with the racism and bigotry, at that time when she was in, Hollywood and performing and things like that. 'Cause she was a singer. She wasn't just the actor. She was a singer also. She never made any like albums, but she was like a club singer, and she did the theater and things like that. Yes. And it spoke about all the great parts she had, even the if y'all remember the movie that she did with um James Earl Jones. She played the single mother with five children on welfare, and she met James Earl Jones, who was a sanitation worker. And I also love that movie too. And she was in a lot of other movies that I didn't even know she was in. I had to go back and actually Google these movies and look at the cast and see her. Yes, she's a beautiful lady. Yes, she is. And I just really enjoyed this book. I learned so much about her. She had went through breast cancer and things like that and survived. And her mother and father worked very hard and to live the life that they want. And then, it gave me inspiration. It was very inspirational also. It spoke about her different marriages. She was married several times and even abuse she went through in some of these marriages. Yes, so this is a very good book. It was a good book. I mean, I enjoyed reading it. I read it kind of quick also. And yeah, she also spoke about not just the racism that she got from other races, other cultures, but also in her own. They felt as though she was a quote unquote, white Negro or something like that. Yeah, along them lines. Yeah, yeah. Because the way she was, even in school, because she was raised like a little princess. That's how she felt. Because her mother and her father really put her on this pedestal, and her grandmother. Her grandmother was a boss. You know what I'm saying? Had her own like plantation. And so, she used to sit back and while they was all out there working in the fields, she was sitting on the porch with her beautiful dresses. And that's what they brought her up on, being a nice young lady, always looking beautiful and things like speaking beautiful. She went to the School of the Arts and things like that. So she was raised very well. And, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot about her in this book. And she even got jumped in school. Yeah, she was going to a school, and the way she was, some of the other girls didn't like it, and so they still always mess with her, follow her home and things like that. And one day, she went back to school and she had to fight. She said, "Yeah, they was jumping." She said, "But I was fighting hard." She said, "I was fighting my heart out." And one of the teachers came to her after that and said, "I think you would do great in the performing arts school." You know what I'm saying? So she went. She's actually from New York, yes, and she went to the performance arts out there in New York. She went to that school, and that's where she learned mostly how to, act. And she already knew how to sing. She was already doing parts as a little girl. She's been an actress since she was a child really, and I really, I really think it was a great book. If you like Miss Diane Carroll, want to know anything about her, yes, what I'm saying. She actually Her name is not actually Diahann Carroll. It was something else, but you have to read the book to figure that out. I'm not going to put that out on here, but yes, her name was actually something else. And showbiz, they give you a catchy phrase name. I guess that's what it was because I guess her name and this was another young lady. They said, oh, it's just too much to this, so we just going to break it down. So they broke it down for her name and whatever. Yeah, so. Yes, I really enjoyed it, guys, and I want to thank y'all for being here with me. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Yes, okay. Love you.